Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace, and today is Monday, April 26th. I feel like this is just part of the intro that I look to the side because I'm checking the date because I can never remember and I don't look beforehand or before I start recording. This is a podcast about knitting books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do all day, every day. And goodness gracious, we have so much to talk about. I've been gone and I'm back now. I have all the various social medias that you can follow me on. I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram. Please go follow me over on there. There's also show notes that will have the links to things I will be talking about if you are interested in checking anything out. All of those will be on my blog, so the link to my blog will be down below if you're on YouTube, or if you're on my blog already, everything is already there. If you have any questions about anything, if I forget to include links or whatever, feel free to send me a message, or if you just want to say hi, I would love to chat with you, because, yeah, I just like chatting with people. I've been gone. I'm back. I got a lot of knitting done. I have my new mug. I'm so excited. We'll talk about that in just a minute. So if you would like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, and a little snuggle laundry to fold, whatever you may be doing, you may be on your lunch break. I get a lot of people saying that they're on their lunch break, and I really appreciate that you spend your lunch break watching me and spending time with me. That just is really amazing. Just chill, relax, enjoy your lunch, and you come back and join me for some crafty chat. So first off, we have my mug. I talked about it 2 weeks ago, last time I recorded the last episode. This is from Rachel of Upper Call Ceramics, and I got one of her mugs. Or her cups really, because it doesn't have a handle, for my mom for Christmas, and I am just in love with her stuff on Instagram, and she's just such a sweet person, and her Instagram stories were super fun to watch, and so I finally snagged one, and it was actually a little bit of a discount because there's a little chip on the bottom, but there's nothing. It's like practically a perfect mug besides this little baby chip on the bottom that has no effect on anything. But I love it. It's like the perfect size. It's a nice handle. It holds a wonderful latte. That is now the perfect temperature. Yes, there's things to talk about. I'm feeling a little bit all over the place for multiple reasons. Obviously, I've been gone. My recording vibe is a little thrown off because I haven't done it in 2 weeks. But also, this is like the first Monday back in full swing, if that makes sense. I apologize. I should have turned that off. This is probably a spam text messages. Does anybody else get those? Because I get those all the time. In addition to telemarketers, spam phone calls. Excuse me. That's not what we were talking about. So this is like the first full week that we've been back, and I feel like Monday is always my busiest days, or one of my busiest days during the week. And this week is particularly busy for lots of fun and exciting reasons that hopefully we can talk about in the near future. But if not, that's fine, But we're just gonna leave it at that. So we were gone. We were in Colorado for a very belated, and not so belated birthday celebration for myself, for Jonas, my nephew, and my mom. We went to my parents' house and we just kind of chilled there. It was super awesome. we went to Maker and Stitch, and it was the best. No surprise there, but it was super fun. I got yarn, of course, and I'm gonna show it to you today. And then, but we'll get into that in just a minute. And then we tried to come home, and we had some troubles getting home, and so we came home a day later because we got stuck in Denver, because weather and flying over the Rockies and a snowstorms coming, not fun. It was dramatic. So, but we made it back home, so it just kind of threw off all last week, and I'm really glad that I decided not to record last week. Obviously, because I wouldn't have been home on Monday, but I'm glad I didn't even try and make that work, because that would have just been very, very stressful. So, I'm really loving this as my goal. I was thinking about this yesterday, that I'm very appreciative to myself that I thought ahead, and or I knew that this was something that I would benefit from, of taking more time off as a goal for this year in regards to knitting and my podcast. So I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that. Maybe that's not something that you pat yourself on the back for, but I'm happy and appreciative to myself for thinking ahead, or thinking about that type of thing. So where do we begin? I have several finished objects. I don't have one of them with me because I gifted it to my nephew, and it's just, oh, he loved it. It was so amazing, and he was so cute in it. I didn't get any pictures of him in it, unfortunately. I got one, but it was blurry, so it was not really worth showing. But I do have finished objects, or pictures of it, which is really awesome. So I can show that to you now, and I will do so. This was the Penguino by Stephen West. I was knitting it for my little nephew. He just turned 3 in February, and he's so cute. I just can't even. He's the sweetest child. So, here is the finished item. This is my picture. I need to post these. I have not posted it yet. There's the front. Turned out super well. I don't know if it's very hard showing things off of pictures, but I don't know if you can see, I did the I-cord as a stripe. How cool is that? Super happy with how that turned out, and it like basically used up all my black and brown yarn and it was very convenient. Here is the back with the welts, and yeah, I'm just so happy with how that turned out. I used a bunch of scraps that were superwash or acrylic or whatever for ease of washing for my sister-in-law. So very exciting, and I had so much fun knitting it. I'm just very excited to have knit that for Jonas. It is very special to me. My second finished object, actually the next two finished objects are both test knits, and you might say, wow, I thought you only had one test knit on your needles, and I would say I did, but then I got another one and then I finished it in a day. So again, does it really matter? No. I have a lot of ends to weave in because my yarn was not in super good shape, but it doesn't matter because it's super cute. This is the, oh goodness gracious, the name of it. Arcuate. Arcuate. And now I can't unlock my phone, so that's not helpful. Okay. I think it's Arcuate. I don't know. A-R-C-U-A-T-E. Arcuate. I'm probably wrong, but that's okay. You know what? It's a thought that counts. Again, things I should have looked up beforehand. This is a vest This is the first design by Charissa of CL Knits, cl.knits on Instagram. If you're interested, please go follow her. She has the most beautiful feed. And yeah, it's just a short little cropped, it's v-necked. I know it doesn't really look like it's very big of a neckline there, but it is bigger, or bigger? Yeah, longer when I have it on. And we have some beautiful cables. We also have a cable running down the side, so you can see. This is Barocco Ultra Alpaca. This is very deep stash, and yeah, I'm so happy with how it turned out. It is just the cutest thing, and I think I've knit vests before, for sure, but I have not knit a vest like this in a very, very, very long time. And I feel like they're very popular right now. How many times can I say the word very? I think they're super popular. Good variation. And so yeah, I was very inspired. When she made the testing call for this pattern, when Charissa made the testing call, she put together the super cute reel on Instagram of the many ways you can style it, and I was just like, I need this. It's just so many cute ways. I would highly recommend you going and checking it out, because I mean, it's such a staple. Like, it's such a classic vest, cabled vest, that like you could probably buy somewhere, but why buy it when you can knit it, you know? And it's super easy, and I would highly recommend it. So I need to take finished object pictures. I have ideas. I did not take this with me to Colorado, otherwise it would have gotten finished, but I wanted to kind of just take a break, and I got it done when I got back, and that worked out perfectly, because then I could really have a true vacation type thing. So that's finished object number 2. And finished object number 3 is another test knit, and this is super small, and you've seen pictures of this already on Instagram if you follow me, so go and follow me. But this cute little headband, I know it looks very small, but it does in fact fit my head. This is the thing that everyone is getting for Christmas this year. Like, I can't even. I've made multiple of these at this point. I finished it, and while I was working on it, and as I was finishing it, my sister-in-law was like, I'd like one of those. And then we went to Maker and Stitch, and so she wasn't able to come with us, so I was like, Laurie, what do you think of these colors? Do you like this color? And so then that day, I had them winded up. They were very kind to do that, and I finished it that evening. So then she had a new piece of headwear. And what am I doing? I don't even know. I'm trying to look up the name of the designer. That's what I'm doing. Her name is Lisa of Woolly Handmade. And I believe she lives in Switzerland. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what she said in our testing group. But this is her Instagram. Obviously, I'll have it linked, but she's got the best feed. It's very, like, nature-y, and she has the most pretty yarn combinations. Like, look at this texture. This is her picture, I believe, of a hat. But she has some awesome patterns, and she designed this, and it is just amazing. This is the best stash buster, because she has it written for 3 different weights, and I believe 4 or 5 sizes. So there is so much variation in this pattern, and it is, like, again, this is the perfect gift pattern, because it looks so complicated, but it's not. You literally knit a strip of broken rib, And then you seam these things together in a magical way that somehow creates this adorable fold that I have just wanted one of these for forever. And now I have the power in my hands. So, everyone, because of the wonderful broadness of the options that you can literally do whatever you want. That's not true. You can't literally do whatever you want. You can't just use one strand of fingering. That won't work. But you can do what I did with this, and I know it's kind of hard to see there. If I hold it up closer, you can see. I marled my yarn because I did the bulky weight, and what I really wanted to use was this. This is Newberry. They're in Boston, so yes. Dips. I keep wanting to call it drips. It's not drips. It's dips. They're hand-dyed yarn, and I started using my Advent minis, and I just thought it was like the perfect combo. And I actually had another one that I knit mostly with this, and then I used this to finish it up. So together, this is like a heavy worsted, very light bulky weight, and I knew that it wouldn't quite be the right gauge and fabric that I wanted with the needle size that I was using, so I just wanted some pizzazz, you know, and just like feel the creative juices flowing within your head, and it's just very exciting. So I'm looking forward to all the various combinations that I can make, and then I have a little bit left over in this bag. I actually have most of the skein in the other room, but for my sister-in-law's I used this very light pink Malabrigo Rios? No, it's not Rios. I forget which one it is, but it's the worsted weight one, I think. And I used the worsted weight size in the pattern. Because again, it's written for multiple sizes. You can make it work. But yes, I would like so highly recommend this. And the sizes are from baby, I think it's baby all the way up to adult. And like I said, it's such a fast knit. It's mindless. It's the perfect gift. It's a good pattern. I would highly recommend it. And it was just such a fun testing experience. That particular group was very chatty, and it was very fun to be involved with all those wonderful people and seeing all the beautiful things they came up with. So also very good, solid, variegated, speckled, self-striping, literally anything. Like, the world is your oyster. The pattern is your oyster. Does that make sense? I may be butchering that phrase, but it sounds funny, so. The pattern is your oyster. We'll make that the title of this episode, and everyone's going to be very confused. And again, I could be wrong, so who knows. So I have a lot of yarn that I got that is sitting on top, but we're not going to talk about that right now because I have a lot of works in progress to show you after my finished objects, of course. Pretty sure there's nothing else that there's a big stack of knitwear right there that I'm looking at to see if there's anything that I like unpacked and put away. Because I'd put away the headband there. I packed a sweater for every day. I got to wear a sweater every day. It's truly living my best life. When we go to Colorado, it's the ultimate knitwear wonderfulness, and I know it gets hot there, and I know that it doesn't last for, the cold doesn't last for forever, but like when it is their cold and my cold, it's two different things. And so I can get away with wearing sweaters more because I'm still cold and they're warm. That makes sense. Yeah, and it was just such a fun time, and I am very excited to talk about our trip to Maker and Stitch because they're just such sweet people, and I love getting to visit their shop, and am looking forward to getting to visit them more in the future, which is very exciting. So this is not what I was going to show you. This is my notions bag. Fun fact. Have you ever seen my notions bag? Have you ever showed my notions bag? This is my notions bag. I know some people are very interested what people keep in their notions bag. Is that something that you would be interested in? There's a lot of random stuff in there. I'm very bad about cleaning it out, but oh well. There's other things to be doing, like laundry and knitting and watching K-dramas and reading. I don't have time to clean out my notions bag, you know? So I did not work on this project on the trip, though I did bring it with me. There's a lot of things that I want to say, but it's just like, what is going to come out of my mouth first? I was very good about not packing too much knitting. I was also very good with my packing in general because, and I laughed with Sam about this as we were going to the airport, is that this was the first time in a long time, obviously, because we haven't traveled a whole lot in the past year. We could count on one hand how many times we've flown, but yeah, it's just like I have not had to worry about my suitcase being too heavy in a very long time, and I didn't have to worry about it this time, and I was just like, whew, I don't have to worry about it being too heavy. And normally that would be because like I was packing a bunch of winter gear. I like would have a bunch of shoes in there. I don't even know. Or it would be for a longer trip, but since we were just going for the weekend, we tried to fit everything in one suitcase, but packing sweaters does take up space. It takes up a lot of space, and though they are squishy, they don't squish down too much. So I had my own suitcase, and it was just like, I have so much space for yarn to bring home. I have space for literally whatever I want to bring home. I don't have to worry about it being too heavy. So I was able to pack project bags in my suitcase and only take on or carry on with me the ones that I knew I wanted to work on the plane, which was really awesome. So going, I had to finish this little guy, which was my headband. And this is a very old project bag. This is Zigzag Stitches. I don't even remember when I got this, but like I've had this for most of my knitting life. And it's a solid, very solid bag. I carried that on with me, and then because I wanted something that would be mindless, I didn't plan it very well because I finished that way too soon, and I didn't feel like trying to stretch it around my head while sitting at our gate because that would have been weird. I did ask Sam if he thought that would be weird, and he said yes, so I opted to not, which was totally understandable. I was just like, should I be confident and measure my head in front of all these people while sitting on at this gate? So I packed that, and then I packed my Woolen Honey by Andrea Mowry. So I worked quite a bit on this, and I got a lot done. I even put in a progress keeper. I was very on point. This is Knit Picks palette in the pumice heather? The pumice heather, excuse me. I was close. Pumice heather colorway. It is gorgeous. It's like a mousy gray brown. pulled it back. It's very accurate. This is very accurate to what it is. And I got a lot done, if I do say so myself. So I started, I know it doesn't look like much, but keep in mind I brought other projects with me, and then I started new things because I got yarn for things. So I started there, and I got all that done. And I'm pretty proud of myself. This is a top-down yoked sweater by Andrea Murray. We've got garter stitch, we've got slip stitches, we've got cables. Sounds super complicated, it looks super complicated. It's not. Don't fear, do not fear. It is just really nice to knit. You don't do all the fancy stuff every single row. You do have rows in between that are very chill, which is really awesome. I did try to make this a reading project. It's not. I did try. It's an audiobook project, and that was totally fine because, again, I had prepped. I knew I had options. If I wanted to listen to a thriller, I had a thriller. If I wanted to listen to a fluffy romance, I had that. If I wanted to listen to a fantasy, I had the options. So I was very well prepared. I was also well prepared in that I ordered our curbside groceries before we left, so I didn't have to worry about planning and everything when we got back, which turned out really well because it was such a mess coming back. So again, pat on the shoulder for me. I'm just real on top of that sometimes. Not all the time, very rarely all the time, but sometimes I do a good job. So yeah, I'm really loving this. This is super awesome. I'm not in a rush to finish this. I'm really enjoying the process of it, and yeah. I think it also will come and go with, like, if I'm really in the mood for an audiobook or something that I want to watch that doesn't have subtitles, aka K-dramas, because, like, I do have to watch and focus on what I'm doing, which is not a problem at all. It's just the fact of the project. This is in my Danica, I know it's Danica something. Danica, ooh, where's the tag? Danica Studio bag that I got at Make Your Own Stitch the last time that we went back in. Oh, I might have gotten this in August of last year. So I love it. Like the pom-pom. This is just barely big enough for this project right now. It will have to graduate to a bigger bag at some point, but that's okay. This would be a good sock bag. We're not talking about socks, I know. I feel like this is becoming a touchy subject. Only because I'm making it a touchy subject. There's literally no problem. No one has been like, why aren't you knitting socks? You said you were going to knit socks. That's not it at all. I know. But I currently don't have any test knits, and I currently don't have any, like, I'm not feeling strongly about test knitting right now, because I have a lot of fun things that I want to work on, and so I'm hoping that maybe that will inspire me to pick up my socks again, but who knows? We won't push it. So next up, everyone, we have this wonderful purple cat bag that I was given by Cassie of Big Sky Yarn Company. She made this and very kindly gifted it to me last year sometime, which is kind of crazy. I love this bag. It is massive. It holds so much. In here is a ginormous Stephen West shawl. My Advent shawl, everybody. Everyone, it is not finished, but that's okay because I have started the border and I am so happy with how it looks. I can't even, like, you know how I said I was going to use the mohair to stripe with the final colors for the border? I did, and it looks just exactly how I wanted it to, and I can't even with how beautiful it is. It's a testament to the yarn, it's a testament to the pattern, the combination of the two. It's just so good. You're like, just show it to us now. We understand you love it a lot. And I actually have 2 progress keepers. We're going to talk about it a little bit more before I show it to you. I have 2 progress keepers because I think I marked it when I last recorded, I think. And then I marked it again for at some point when I picked it up again, or I had been working on it, and then like something like, what am I even trying to say? We might have been traveling, I don't know, but I wanted to like see how much I could do within that time. This is the most big thing, very grammatically correct. This is the biggest thing ever. It's gorgeous. It is amazing. This is the Dotted Rays by Stephen West. It is absolutely gorgeous. And everyone, let me show you this mohair. Can we even? It looks so good. So I am just finishing off these minis in this advent calendar from Pineapple Yarn, and I am holding, or the mohair is Sea Glass by Long Dog Yarns. And everyone, I can't describe to you how much joy this project has given me. And I know that I've talked about this since the beginning of December, and I'm sorry because I know that we're all probably very tired of me talking about it, but it's almost done. It is almost done. And it is a behemoth of a project, but we knew that this would be massive, we knew that this would be big, and this is exactly what I wanted. When I came up with the idea that this is what we were going to do, or what I was going to do with my advent calendar, I knew this is what I wanted, and it has turned out exactly the way I imagined it, and I can't, it's so good. So good. So, also, fun fact, Advents have been popping up from everybody, which is super exciting. I love the Advent calendar time of just seeing who all is making them, what their inspirations, what their themes are. Pineapple Yarns has got another one up this year, which is super exciting. So if you really like how this is looking, I would highly, highly, highly recommend you checking out this year's inspirational picture. That's what I was thinking. So mine was called Vitamin C, or the one last year was called Vitamin C. This year is called Sea Breeze. This is her picture on her Instagram for her inspiration for this year's advent calendar. Like, Marina does such a good job with her yarns. I know that I've talked about this, it's again the beginning of December. The box that she put together as the advent was just so very well thought out. It was very kindly and beautifully wrapped. There was candy in there. There was a beautiful candle. It was amazing. Like, if you're on the fence, if you're not sure which advent calendar you want and you're looking for some more bright, fun colors, although this one looks a little bit more calm than last year's, or this one, just, you will not be sorry. I promise. You will love every minute of it. And she put together this fade, and it like it's the most seamless fade ever. Like, it's just so good. I can't even. She is such a talented dyer. And she's just a really nice person. So support indie dyers. Support people who love what they do. I love this. I'm so excited. I love the border. The chevron border is quite long and it's taking quite a long time. But that's okay. You know, it's worth it. It's totally worth it. I can't even with the mohair. I know it's very hard to see because it's all bunched up, but like, can we even? Can we even? It'll be such a beautiful addition to this. This is such a big mass. Here are my progress keepers I've been carrying along because one is just not enough. I have my pizza, True Love, from Jen of Hand Stitch Life. She has amazing stitch markers and progress keepers. And I also have my glazed donut from Little Bitty Delights, which I also love very dearly. 2 favorite foods. I would be lying if I said that it didn't make me hungry while I was working on it. So, no shame. No shame. If you're looking for an advent calendar, Pineapple Yarns, such a good advent calendar. If you're looking for a really big shawl that you want to play around with color, Dotted Rays, 100%. Is this the last Dotted Rays I'll ever make? Nope. I will be making more. Not like next week, but because I need to finish this one first. But this is such a good project, and I've loved every single minute of it so much. So much. Coffee break. Time for a little coffee break. Making pulled pork sliders for dinner in the crock pot, and it smells very good. It smells very delicious. Also, side note, I don't know what it is about this shape, but like, it's this little dome shape. It's bigger at the bottom. Can you see that? Or am I describing that accurately? I don't know. I just really love the shape of this. And I love the blue. Her pink one of this style is just so pretty. And there was like a really bright pink one, but I have a lot of pink themed mugs already, and I don't have a lot of blue ones. She also has this same look, but this blue part is like a very creamy off color or off white with this brown bit, and so she calls those her cinnamon roll mugs, and I just think that's just the cutest thing because it looks like the colors of cinnamon roll. But I like the blue, so you know. Love it. So good. So, next up, I brought this with me. I did not work on it while on the trip because I got some other things that I wanted to work on. But since being home, I have worked on it quite a bit. Was it last night? Maybe 2 nights ago. For some reason, I was just like, I'm going to work on this all evening, and we'll see how far I get. And I got pretty far. I could have gotten farther, but that's okay. This is my Basque shawl by Samantha Gurin. I've tested it for her before. She's also just had a pattern included in Lina's 52 weeks of shawls, which actually now I can show that to you. What? That's big. Okay, well, we'll talk about that in just a minute. I completely forgot about that. This is an asymmetrical shawl, and it's got some wonderful mindless garter stitch, but we also have some beautiful brioche lace. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but you can see it better here. So it just alternates between garter stitch and lace, and this yarn is special because this was, in addition, it was my birthday cast on. This is the Amethyst Birthstone mini collection from Hue Loco, which is super exciting. So I've made quite a bit of progress in regards to the minis that I've used. Part of me keeps freaking out of like, how am I gonna fit all these minis in here? I don't know how to properly fit them in. And then I look at my dotted rays and it's like, I'm sorry, I just fit 24 minis into a massive shawl. I think this will be fine. I got this. It's okay. So I'm currently working with this color, which is definitely one of my favorites out of the whole set. And she's created such a beautiful fade. Some of the colors are a little bit more drastic. There's usually a solid or a tonal in between the variegateds, which is super fun. So I'm working on this one. I'll go to this color next. And then this is my second favorite out of the kit. Or set. I keep saying kit, but you know what I mean. So I am loving it. And I have another glazed donut. It's a favorite from Little Bitty Delights. And yeah, I made quite a bit of progress 2 nights ago. You know, I finished the brioche section and I'm almost done with the garter stitch section, ready to start another brioche section. Brioche section. That's somehow difficult, for some reason difficult to say. Brioche section. But I don't know. Anyway, I'm really loving this. I really like these types of asymmetrical shawls. I think they wear very nicely because somehow with how the shape of them, they stay very nicely on your shoulders. They're not like falling off all the time, as I know I've had issues with some triangular shawls. It doesn't stop me from making them because I do love a good triangular shawl, but you know what I'm saying. This is just a really well wearing shape and I'm just very excited about it. Again, it's special because it's my birthday cast on in February. Amethyst is my birthstone. It was meant to be. I just am very excited about it. This is not my last mini project by any means. This is very weird. I don't know if it's just like me being more adventurous. This is for some reason covered in cat hair. Surprise. Why am I picking out cat hair? It's just gonna come back. It'll always be covered in cat hair. I have never been one to be drawn to or like be interested in knitting with mini skein sets for some reason. Like, I love how people put them together. I love how they look as a set. I love I now can't think of the right word. Cohesiveness. I love the cohesiveness. Just give me a little bit and I'll think of it. Cohesiveness of mini skein sets. I just think it's such a beautiful thing that people create. But I've never been super into knitting with them, except for this year. Also with the exception of advent calendars, of course. For some reason this year I was just like, mini skein set, I will make it work, because I think it was mainly inspired, or mostly inspired by the color and like the fact that it was an amethyst theme that I was gonna make it work. But because this has like turned out so well, my eyes have been open to knitting more with mini skein sets. And so I have another one coming from Big Sky Yarn Company, which is It is a collaboration with Little Bitty Delights, two of my favorite people working together to make a Mandalorian themed kit mini skein set with Project Keeper. So good. And I'm very excited to like work on it, the project that I have in mind, because I'm actually going to be making a sweater. And I know that sounds very like, why are you making a sweater? Because I want to. You know, and that is why I'm making a sweater. I'm going to do what I want to do. I was going to say something, and I feel like it was very profound, and now I can't remember what it was. Yes. I think maybe the point ultimately was that I haven't been really into mini skeins before, and for some reason this year is my mini skein set year. I'm not complaining. I'm very, very happy with how I've been creatively inspired to make more things with minis and be creative with minis, whether they be in a set or not in a set. It's just possibilities, you know? It's just the beauty of knitting and crocheting and really making anything with your hands. You can make it literally however you want it to. Make something that you love. And that's amazing. That is truly amazing. We've had a lot to talk about. Oh, I forgot. So, everyone, this is very exciting. And I feel like I feel a little, it's not challenging to talk about, but because it was so long ago that I worked on this, I don't know what to say. Last year, I had the incredible opportunity to test knit a shawl pattern for Suzanne Summers that was included or is included in Alina's 52 weeks of shawls. And I am very honored to have been included in that group of people. It was a very small group of people, and to be picked was just such a wonderful thing. I was very surprised when I got it, and it was a secret, and I couldn't tell you guys about it. And so I was constantly talking about the secret project that I was working on, but I couldn't show it to you, and it would be a while till I could show it to you, and blah 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 blah. And it was taking up a lot of my knitting time. Because you will be able to see that this is a wee bit of a complicated pattern. And here it is. I can finally show it to you guys because it's all been announced. It's all been shared on social media. This is folded in half. Here's the other side. It is like just gorgeous. I can't even. So yes, again, I just can't even that I got to be a part of this amazing project and just getting to test this for Suzanne. It was just such a wonderful experience working with her. She's such a nice person, and with incredible shawl designs, obviously. This is a big wrap, though. I think it is called the Stairway shawl, or Stairway Wrap? I actually don't remember. But this, I use Light from the Long Grass, their sock base, in the Baroque colorway, which is the purple. And then, oh man, it has been so long. I don't know. It's been so long since I worked on this. I can't even. I think it's actually probably around this time last year. And that has just put me into a very thoughtful moment of how much things have changed since a year ago. Everything that's happened between now and then. When I was working on this, what was going on, and where we are now. And that's a lot. Anyway, this is not a podcast of watching me think about things that have happened. You know, that's not what the point of this podcast is. There are so many cool things about this project. Obviously, the brioche is constantly moving, so you do have to keep an eye on it. But I do promise that once you get into a rhythm, you know what's going on, and it's not as hard as it looks. We do have this wonderful I-cord edging on both sides, so you have the yarn carried up, and it's such a smooth finished look. You also have that on the bottom as well. So on this side you have the purple, and on the other side I've got this color that I can't remember the name of. I'm pretty sure it's on my Ravelry project page because I did set it up. I second guessed myself the other day and had to Google how to cut an orange, and I am very embarrassed about that, but I want to confess it because that is the reality of life sometimes. Sometimes you question how to cut an orange and you have to Google it. Fun fact about me. You know, okay, where is it? This is forever ago. The Stairway shawl. Did I not include the colorway names? How could I not? That is very unfortunate. Well, I do know that the purple is Baroque. Remember what it's called. It's very unfortunate. But yes, it is like the most springy thing. It's very bouncy, and I think that's the combination of the brioche and the garter stitch put together. It's not super heavy, but it definitely like hangs and drapes well. And yeah, it's just gorgeous. And once I got it done, I did wear it quite a bit out and about. And so I'm going to wear it now because now you guys can see it and I don't have to keep it a secret. And I remember just being sad that I couldn't take pictures of it and post it quite yet, and then actually getting to take pictures in August when we went to Colorado with my family. Which is where I took all my amazing pictures that you guys will be seeing in the near future, because it's still in the preview process. The book hasn't officially been published yet. But yeah, it's just really incredible, and I'm still in awe that I was part of it, and I am very grateful for that. So I'm super excited to be able to share that with you, or share this with you right now. And finally, there are so many amazing patterns in that book. Like, there are so many. I now have like hair caught in my glasses and in my nose. Blech. There are big designers, there are new and upcoming designers, there's people in between, there's just so many amazing people in that book. My mom and I are getting a copy from Maker and Stitch, and I'm very excited. So, lots of really amazing things. But yes, this is the Stairway shawl by Suzanne Summers. If you love brioche, if you want something to tickle your brain a little bit, this is right up your alley. Would highly recommend. Takes 2 skeins of each color, and yeah, so would highly recommend. So excited to be able to share that with you guys now. And it's crazy that the time has finally come that we can talk about it. So, happy days. Okay. Oh man, we have so much more to talk about. So first up, let's just talk about this because it is on my needles. I got yarn. I got yarn for 3 projects. And one of them I cast on because I was just so excited, because when this pattern came out, it's one of those ones that I couldn't stop thinking about, which is a sign that you need to knit it. So I have cast on, and if you follow me on Instagram, you already know this, but I have cast on a pink fuzz. I cannot remember. How many times have I posted about this and I still can't remember? I couldn't remember before, and now I still can't remember, even though I'm working on it. Pink Fizz. I think it's fuzz because it's fuzzy because of the mohair, but it's Fizz. Pink Fizz by Andrea Mowry. And I have my Luke's Diner mug Progress Keeper from Little Bitty Delights that I really do love. And fun fact, I was working on this one of the days that we were there. We all had the ability to go and do things that we wanted to do, like there were activities going on. And I was at my parents' house with my mom and my sister-in-law, and everyone else was on a hike, I think. And we turned on the Gilmore Girls while I was working on this, and I had literally just attached my Loose Diner mug, and I also have a Where You Lead I Will Follow stitch marker on this project from A Needle Runs Through It, and it's just like, I am so calm right now. It was so nice. I will say this lace is nothing to sniff at, that is for sure, but it's not super hard. I know that makes it sound like it's very complicated. It's not, but it's definitely, you have to be very aware of what's going on. Because you repeat this lace thing 4 times in total, depending on how you are with like memorizing things once you do it once. That sounded weird. After you do it once, then it's not as complicated, but if you are someone that like has to be looking at a pattern all the time, it may be kind of complicated. But that's not a bad thing. Like, it's not, it just depends. Yes. Okay. We're talking. That just... What am I trying to say here? It's not a super complicated pattern. The lace is not. It's not super complicated, but it's not easy either. So it's somewhere in between. So if you're, if you've been knitting for a while, or if you're like into sweaters and you want to try something that's got a little bit of interesting lace that again might tickle your brain, this is definitely a good one to try. Because it's also, I don't think I've ever done, I may have done without knowing it, but it's, the stitch pattern or the lace pattern is from a Japanese stitch Bible, I believe, which is super cool. And I just, every time I see one, it's always so beautiful and so intricate. And like I said, I'm not sure if I've ever done one. I may have without knowing it, but I know I'm doing one now, and I am just so happy with how this is looking. Like, it's just gorgeous. I can't even, like, it's so pretty. We do have a high-low hem. We have a split seam down the side. And yeah, I'm loving it. So I got the yarn from Maker and Stitch. I am using these two. This is Meadow from the Fiber Company. This is the colorway Bed Straw, and Meadow is a textured blend of baby llama, silk, linen, and merino wool. So I thought that because it's with mohair and like it's a good blend, like it's a very drapey blend, and this is a drapey project. So I thought that would be a good combo, and then also because it's got silk and linen in it, that it wouldn't be super, super warm, woolly. So I could potentially be able to wear it more in Houston and not just save it for the cold of Colorado. You know. And then paired with it, I have this beautiful, beautiful Mighty Mo from Farmer's Daughters Fibers in the Dumpling colorway. And I cannot, like, this is another one of those things that I had a vision in my mind, and this is accomplishing it perfectly. And I am, I don't mean to sound prideful and like, oh, I could just pick out these colors just perfectly and it just turns out the way I want, because it doesn't always. But when it does, it just is like, oh, yes, that was a good decision that I made. Because there were other colors that I was looking at, there were other pinks that I was looking at, but I love this peachiness, and it just creates this beautiful, like, it's still gray, but it's still got that peachy, and it's very hard to tell on camera, but in person it's very gray pinky. Does that make sense? It's very descriptive. It's gray pinky, super technical, you know. So this is super exciting. I've loved working on this. This is definitely something that I cannot read during, and that's okay. I knew that it wouldn't be, but I think now that I have done a decent amount of the lace, that I am fairly confident in how things go and like what's coming next and that type of thing. I definitely have to look at the pattern pretty much every time I do the lace repeat, but I mean, I don't know. You do have long stretches of stockinette in between, which is nice. It's also currently in the round. It is bottom up. And once you get to the armholes, then where you finish the lace chart, you then separate for the front and the back and do all that stuff. So I feel like I've been doing a lot of that construction recently, and I'm not complaining because it fits very, very well. Very, very well indeed. So I am loving this. This is in my New England Farm to Fiber Boston Public Market bag. Fun fact that my mom and dad got for me when they went to Boston several years ago. And that's where they got the dips, that green, for my headband. So I think it's a super cool bag. I use it quite frequently. So next up, this is a single skein, very special skein. This is Lang Cashmere Light. And I will be making another one of these little headbands because I just am loving it. It is very, this is definitely cashmere. It just feels very nice. It is 88% cashmere, 12% nylon, and it may as well be 100% cashmere because that's what it feels like. And it smells real good. I just love this color. So I'm very excited. I think this will be very pretty as a little headband. Because this is an accurate description or depiction, is that the right word? Of what it will look like. You know. So that is coming soon for our warm summer months. You know. And next up was a very spontaneous decision. And the last thing, project that I got. And this is a pretty big project. I'm very excited to have this as an undertaking. It is a Stephen West shawl. It is one that I've wanted to do for a very long time. And it is Lumpy Space by Stephen West. And I feel like Lumpy Space is one of those ones where it's kind of in between of his popular ones and like unknown ones. Quite a few people have made it, but it's not like the Dotted Rays, and it's not like Exploration Station or Vertices Unite by any means. But it's just so cool looking, and it's a very odd shape, and the construction is just very weird, and I love that. So it's 4 colors, and I wanted to pick out a fun palette of some sort, and I wanted to use some mohair or something fuzzy, and I came up with, I'm gonna make sure that none of the tags are in the way so you can see it. I came up with this combo. So we got some neutrals, we got some blues, we got some purpley maroonies with some beautiful speckles, and then we got this bright green. Outside my comfort zone, but I am loving it. You know, can we even? So I have Hue Loco single sock in the Hoarfrost colorway. Beautiful. Look at those speckles. It's just stunning. I have my neutral Manos del Uruguay in the Fino base in the Antique Lace colorway, which is really, there's so many colors in here. I know that you would like look at it and be like, wow, that's a beigey gray, but like there's purple, there's blue, there's dark gray, there's taupe, there's some pink and some, I see some green. Like, it is beautiful. Next up, we have Foxy Lady from Farmer's Daughter's Fibers, and this is the Rough Customer colorway with all these beautiful speckles and that navy. Like, so much fun. I just love this color so much. It's so pretty. It's like a mulberry maroon. And then this guy is Oh Dang from Farmer's Daughter's Fibers, and this is the, oh, I don't remember how to pronounce this, Kinny Kinnick colorway. That's what it is. Please focus. There we go. Kinny Kinnick. And I just thought it was super fun. I thought about going neutral with this because I love this color. But like, I'll turn this around so the label's not in the front. There we go. But like, can we even? I'm so excited. So I think maybe, I know I have another Stephen West on my needles. I know I do. Technically I have 2 because I have my Advent and then I have my Chevron Shenanigans. That's a Languishing Whip. But, you know, I mean, I think once I get the Advent shawl done, maybe that would be, it's a big enough project, it may be a reward of 2 cast-ons, you know? And one of them should be this, because, like, why not? I am so excited about this green, you guys. I don't know, like, it's such a cool green. It's just so pretty. I'm just, like, staring at it in the viewfinder. It was so pretty. And it was fun building this because we didn't have like a ton of time to look at stuff at that point, and we were finishing up our shopping, and so I just picked one. I think I picked the what is this called? The Rough Customer first, the maroony one, and then I kind of built off of that. because I think the mohair was the last one that I picked, so I think I ended up with these, and then I could have gone like a pinky route, I could have gone like a neutral route, I could have gone a black route, but why say no to the green when you can do the green? Like, how fun. I'm not sure of the placement of these. I thought about trying to figure it out while standing there, but I didn't have the time, and I was just like, I feel like this, just going with the flow, picking 4 colors and figuring out the placement is just a part of being flexible in Stephen West shawl knitting. And so I'm excited to cast this on at some point, and I think this is very exciting. I wanted to do a Lumpy Space for forever. It's a very odd name for a very odd construction, and I'm very excited to show it to you guys. So hopefully that will be cast on soon-ish. We will see. But that is everything. Guys, I have talked for a very long time, and we've talked about a lot of projects, a lot of yarn, a lot of random other things, and I have other things to talk about, but we're just gonna have to save them for next week because this is a very long episode. So thank you so much for being patient with me while I took a week off. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for spending your lunch break with me if you have chosen to do so. Thank you so much for just being your wonderful subscribing self. If I have all the social medias, show notes, if you want to follow me anywhere, that would be wonderful, and keep up to date with what I am up to. I hope you had a wonderful 2 weeks, wonderful weekend, and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. I have my work cut out for me, hopefully getting my Advent shawl done in the next couple of weeks, if not this week, next week. But we'll see. It's Monday. But this week is a very busy week, so we'll have to see. But I don't know. We're not going to worry about that right now. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, you know what? Patterns can be your oyster. They can make themselves into whatever you want it to be, because you are the creative person, you are the artist, you can make it whatever you want it to be. So with that, use that information this week and be creative in some way. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Bye.